Show by the Voice of Stockton and Restore the Delta. This is the weekly radio show where we discuss everything Delta related: the environment, water management, water quality, farming, history and culture, public events, recreation, Delta food, and the arts. Tune into Delta Flows on KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at KXVS Radio.
Hello, welcome to Chef Tobias Cooks, here where we have kitchen conversations with professional chefs, cooks, home cooks, bakers, and people that just can't cook. So join us every week for our kitchen conversations and learn a thing or two. And I don't burn nothing in my kitchen.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff. KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, presents Challenge Mode with Ben Sanchez.
I love how you were like leaning in, you were like, challenge mode?
I thought we were going to say challenge mode.
Hey.
We could have. I mean, together we can accomplish great things.
Yes.
Yes,
true.
That's true. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is Challenge Mode. Here with Governor Don.
Hey.
And I am Ben Sanchez. We have our special guest, Laura Garcia from Terra Coffee Roasters.
Yes.
Yeah. So just in case you didn't know what Challenge Mode is, or if you missed out on our early premiere episode at the beginning of the month with Good Stock Productions, Challenge Mode is we dive into the world of entrepreneurs. So we follow the experience, hearts, minds, and dreams of all these local entrepreneurs throughout the Central Valley. And so we are going to learn from their failures and cheer them on through their successes and find out how they overcome the next set of challenges. Ooh, that's great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool, huh? Yeah. So thanks for joining me. Welcome.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
So just a little bit of a recap from the last episode. We had Amy Seifert and Ann Wilcox from Good Stock Productions. They came on, talked about their story, talked about, kind of some of the pitfalls and some of the things that worked for them, some of the things that didn't, how they came up with Good Stock. Mm-hmm. Their triumphant return to downtown Stockton. They started in downtown Stockton. They will be back in April for the stock market. Woo-hoo. So that's really exciting for us because we're always downtown.
Yeah, no, I think it's great that they're coming back to the downtown area. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what we talked about, and we got to learn a little bit more about some of their favorite events. They did a lot, and they were on all kinds of social media, and they were in the live Fox 40 studio promoting Party Gras. They've been written up in the Journal. They've been in San Joaquin Magazine. I think you can still vote for them as one of the best event companies of the year.
Yes.
So speaking of events, we'll kind of cover just a few things that are going on in Stockton. We've got the Central Valley Asian American Chamber is hosting the 2018 Community Recognition Awards Dinner at China Palace on March 22nd, 5:30. You can still get your tickets available, $50 for a ticket. If you feel like donating or you feel like sponsoring the event, please contact Leslie Edmond is the executive director, and you can get that information by contacting us through KXVS. You can message us here or you can email us here, and we'll gladly pass on that information to you. It's definitely a great dinner to go to because these are all business, community and business leaders in our area that have done a lot. Throughout the Central Valley. Dennis Lee was the founder of the Central Valley Asian American Chamber.
Great guy.
So yeah, he's awesome. You'll probably see him if you've been in Stockton and you've been around at a lot of these mixers. You've definitely met him at some point because he is at every mixer I've been to. Awesome guy. Worked with him for over a year. So I think this is a great way. If you know Dennis or you've met him, this is a great way to honor him. We also have Year of the Dog coming up tomorrow at China Palace, same place, same time, 5:30. So you can come
5:15.
Oh, 5:15. Oh, if you want to get there a little earlier for some appetizers,
Asian time, I guess.
little drinky drink. You can come check it out. Year of the Dog this year. This is something that the Asian Chamber puts on every year. So we got back-to-backs at China Palace. Great food, West Lane and March Lane. Come check us out.
Entertainment by Red Dragon Youth Theater.
Ooh, that should be really cool.
Lunar New Year Mixer, networking, China Palace, appetizers, prize drawings, and of course the live entertainment.
There you go. So, and the other thing that I was looking at, which is coming up too, at the Hagen Museum, is Her Story. The Eleanor Project is hosting that with collaborating with the Hagen. So I was talking with Amy just before the show, just to try and get a little bit of where people can go to get these tickets. You can go to goodstockca.com to get the tickets, or you can actually text Eleanor to 30306. And there's actually an app that they have available too that you can do it. But those are definitely the easiest ways to do it. I say just go through Goodstock's website, pick up some tickets, learn about the early women entrepreneurs who have really kind of pioneered a lot of things in the area, and learn from what had happened and what they've accomplished and everything that they've really built. And we're kind of all of us entrepreneurs are really kind of following their lead. And so this is a great event that kind of lets them talk about their story and the history of that throughout Stockton and the Central Valley. So I definitely encourage people to go to that and pick up your tickets. They're still available. Hagen Museum is a great historical building in Stockton, and it got renovated. So I'm actually excited to go check this event out.
I mean, it's beautiful. If you haven't been to the Hagen Museum recently, it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that everybody in Stockton should be proud about. It should be something that you checked out already. So this is a great way to come see it if you haven't already.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, learning the history of these very great women.
Exactly. And so, and of course, speaking of history and culture and heritage, Laura's coffee shop is inside the Mexican Heritage Center, and there's some amazing things that are happening there.
Yeah, there is. I don't know if you have the flyer.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I do.
Oh,
Woo!
here you
Ta-da!
go. Ta-da! I don't know.
So
if you can
tell
see
us
it.
a little bit about Greg Custodio.
Greg Custodio is the only muralist hired by the city of Stockton. He has passed away in 1998, but his wife has finally decided to share his artwork that he did at home. And it's pretty amazing because it's very different from what we know his work to be, which would be a great example is downtown, right across from the Mexican Heritage Center, is a mural with all the faces of Stockton.
Right.
And when you come in, I don't know if you could see this, but I mean, check out all these colors. Check out this style. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Come learn about the history of the only muralist that was hired by the city of Stockton. And
he has a couple of other places besides downtown, right? Did he do the mural in St. Mary's?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
It says here St. Gertrude's Church, the mural of Lady of Guadalupe, but they did just redo it. Another artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to see his original works, but it's pretty neat that inside the Mexican Heritage Center, you could see some of the work that he did at home, and compare it to what Stockton did know him for doing.
Yeah. Now he was a Filipino American, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
Okay.
This Friday from 5:30 to 8:30, you should come by and check out his art in the gallery at the Mexican Heritage Center, and also meet his wife, Lita Custodio. She'll be there, and just kind of learn more about his history, maybe what influenced his art, and just have a great time with great people.
Yeah. So now that art is featured throughout the whole month of February, and then Friday at what time is the...
Friday from 5:30 to 8:30.
Okay, and that's the reception, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
we'll have music, food.
Are you open? Is coffee
we'll
there?
Be open.
Yeah, coffee's there.
Yes.
Yes.
Come by.
Terra Squad.
Terra Squad.
So and that's a great segue to talk a little bit about my guest is Laura Garcia. You're local Stocktonian.
Yes.
And you grew up here. And so you've opened this shop. It's been open for about a month.
Yeah.
Inside the Mexican Heritage Center. So we're going to kind of take you through a journey of how Laura kind of got from, where just having this amazing passion for coffee and learning so much about that, and then to now leading up to the Mexican Heritage Center. But before that, usually we kind of ask each guest kind of what entrepreneurship really means to them, because not everybody really knows what an entrepreneur is or, what they do or anybody can be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, anybody can be an entrepreneur. I think for me, it's about a person seeing an opportunity and taking a risk to make it happen.
Yeah.
And it can be for anything. I mean, for us, it was coffee. For Good Stock, it was bringing people together with these events.
Pop-ups, yeah.
Yeah. And it's about community sometimes. And sometimes you can see that there's a need for something that for others, they might not think is important, but you need to fill that need and you see an opportunity there.
Yeah.
That's what it is for me.
Right. And so, and obviously that's so important in, I think, any community. It doesn't matter what city you're in, whether you're in Stockton or, Sacramento, Lodi, Tracy. There's this entrepreneurship movement happening all over, and you may not be aware of it, but we are definitely aware of it. And that's why the show exists here within a community station.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to make more people aware of it. And that's the whole goal. You may not even know that KXVS, a nonprofit, is, our governor over here is an entrepreneur. You know, he's doing amazing things with this radio station.
Risk taker.
That have not been done before in Stockton.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. I mean, for me, the biggest thing is bringing the community together, having them know the history, the roots of Stockton, having a passion and respect for it by learning about the history of it, and just making it a better place. Because once you know more about the history of something, you can appreciate it more.
Yeah.
And we're making history right now.
You are. Yeah, we are. Whether you are tuning in now or you're tuning in tomorrow or next week or in 2028. Yes. We will still be around in some kind of file format available on might not even be smartphones at that point.
Yes.
You may just put a visor on and
that's right.
You'll be able to watch us there. But
change the channel.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get my glasses.
So tell me about like this incredible journey that you've been on and how you started. I know kind of I've interviewed you a little bit, but let's let the audience kind of know about where did your passion for coffee kind of start? I mean,
it was just something that I love to drink ever since high school. I mean, it's just been something that's there. Then I slowly developed more interest towards it. It really came together when I met my husband.
Okay.
It came up when I saw a little air popper on his counter and coffee beans inside of his refrigerator. He said, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I love to roast coffee." And from there, we kind of built his passion back up again for roasting coffee. And it really came together about a year ago when we did a cross-country trip to Texas. And we stopped by all the local shops, big and small, roasters, or people just kind of serving coffee. Yeah. And it sparked this passion to roast. And when we came back home, we said, hey, let's take this passion and share it with everybody else. I mean, we were getting great comments about the coffee that we were already roasting. And we kind of explored our different options. And we found that a cottage food operation was something that we can do with roasting coffee. We got a San Franciscan roaster. It does 6-pound batches. And we found what we had to do to make it permitted, certified, everything by the books. Yeah. And I keep saying it, but I think we were the first roasters as a cottage food operation here in the San Joaquin County.
Yeah.
If there's anybody out there that's been roasting before us, let me know.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. But yeah, and that I think that's really makes you guys unique is you have this, CFO behind it. So that's kind of like, when somebody talks about CFO, they may not completely understand kind of the idea behind it or how that, so kind of maybe describe a little bit about what goes into a CFO or how that came about to get it and what is it all about?
A cottage food operation is a way for you to make goods in your kitchen legally and sell it to the public, whether it's directly or indirectly. So there's two different types of permits. You have a Class A and a Class B. And if with the Class A, you can make goods and sell it directly.
Yeah.
So there's a big list. You should check it out because it's always changing, and it's allowing people to be an entrepreneur at home without taking too big of a risk, and to follow something that they feel very passionate about.
Yeah.
And the Class B allows you to sell it to a third party, and they can sell it for you.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
That's what we did. We roasted coffee, and we sold it to In Season.
Oh, okay.
Another great local shop.
In Season. Shout out to In Season over on Alpine.
I love In Season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they carry your coffee beans.
They do carry our coffee beans, but they also support us so many different local CFOs, businesses.
Yeah.
It's a great mom and pop shop.
Yeah. Now, I remember back when I was growing up, it was the Tank House. And, I don't remember. I went in with you on a delivery run, and it's incredible, like, how much that's changed since
Right.
I've been there, since I've been there from high school. And now they have not just, the garden and the plants. You can go back there and pick, like, fresh, vegetables
Yep,
and
that's
stuff.
right.
And it's just like, okay, I need some lettuce and some tomatoes. You can go out there and pick it, right?
They're great entrepreneurs because they took a huge risk. If you saw what the Tank House looked like before they were there, it was literally just dirt and rocks. Everything was kind of falling apart. Nobody's been there for years. And Eric and Julie went over there, and they had a vision. They saw potential.
Yeah.
And lots of people were going, why that spot? And look at that. Now they're there.
Yeah.
They're supporting all these other entrepreneurs. They have this beautiful, beautiful nursery. It's amazing. People go in there and go, I can't believe I'm in Stockton.
Yeah.
Like, this is Stockton. It's about supporting the local businesses and coming out and seeing what can be done. There's so much potential.
That whole block is coming back to life.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because just down the block, I think there's a furniture shop, and then there's also. I used to go to the meat market there.
Yep.
And it's still there. There's always somebody out there barbecuing ribs or something.
Yeah, and I think they have a place called the Art Corner where it supports fine learning how to make fine art for children.
Right.
It's so cool.
So yeah, they've got that block has really kind of blossomed, over the span of maybe a couple years now. How long has In Season been there?
We actually started the same time. So when we opened up our CFO for Terra Coffee Roasters, we stopped by their shop, and I think they were just open for about maybe a month or two.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of these businesses here in Stockton all started around the same time,
that's
like
very
late
cool.
2016. And it was pretty cool because we all understood each other. It was like riding this wave together.
Yeah. I feel that's really kind of entrepreneurship, and it's a good analogy for that. We're all in this together. We're all a part of this big movement to try, and the overall goal has always, been, to help benefit the community in the city.
Oh, that's what we hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what we're hoping to do.
That's what we're hoping.
And so that I think that's really cool that you guys all started around the same time.
Yeah, so it was really neat working with other local businesses that opened up at the same time and hearing their experience as far as like trying to figure out how to run a business.
Yeah.
And it's cool. There's your ups and downs. And trying to just support each other and let them know that you're going through it too, and you find out it's normal.
Yeah.
And just improving.
Yeah, exactly. So then from the start of that, when you had both become CFOs, then kind of what was your next step after getting all the permits for that? What was the next idea like with Terra?
Well, it was kind of building our brand and trying to find a way to connect with the community in some way, because we were the new guys. We were the newest roasters in town, and trying to figure out how to do social media,
Okay.
all that stuff.
Is that when I think that's when we met at the bakery, right? Was it around that time? Or how long had you been going
Yeah.
for that? Probably
Yeah,
at the start?
I met Tobias from La Dolce Vita over at the big mixer where everybody went.
Metro mixer, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the Metro mixer.
Oh, not the Metro mixer?
No, the holiday mixer where all the chambers.
Oh,
went
the one
together.
at the Hagen?
Yeah.
Was it at the Hagen?
No, it
No,
wasn't.
it was at the UOP.
Yeah, it was
the
at
alumni
UOP.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool because it was the first time I ever went to a mixer, and everybody was having fun. It was
Oh,
cool.
man,
I
there
met
were
everybody.
A lot of people were drinking. Yeah.
I was trying not to say that.
I'll say
Having
it.
fun.
I'll say it. They were having fun.
Everybody was having fun, and
Yeah.
it was cool because it wasn't just about business. It was just kind of getting to know everybody there
Getting
and
to
celebrate.
know you. Yeah, I was actually at the mixer, and then I don't know if you know Jamie and Marcy from Shades of Color. They were actually serving drinks there for a while. And yeah, so that's when I was doing work with the Asian Chamber. So
Okay.
how those diversity mixers work is that all the chambers in the area come together and do two major ones.
Yep.
One over the summer and one in the winter. So it's the Asian Chamber, the African American Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, and the Greater Chamber of Commerce, and the Delta Chamber.
Oh, the Delta Chamber.
Yes, the Delta Chamber. Their focus is, in the area where there's like Bob's Burgers and the Garlic Brothers.
Oh.
Their kind of focus is in that
That's
area.
kinda nice.
And then all the way
And
up
all
to
the
like
way-
Tower Park,
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
The marina. Yeah, so Bill, I can't remember his last name. Shout out to Bill, though. He's
I want to say Jennings.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Bill.
Sorry, Bill, but I know I run into him. He's a super nice guy. I saw him at the mixers a couple of times. Definitely, he's the director.
All you need
of
to know is Bill.
Bill. Yes, and not the Bill like when we were kids. I'm just a Bill sitting on Capitol Hill.
Oh,
Bill Wells.
Remember that?
Bill Wells.
Bill Wells. There you go.
There you go.
There's my Google
Shout
Master
out, Bill.
Gov. So that's when all the chambers come together and put on this incredible mixer for everyone to come together, and it's really all about community building, and you'll get to meet almost everyone and anybody in the throughout the community from all these different organizations, and I think it's just really cool. And you get to try out all the great food.
Oh yeah,
So,
that was great. I was like, yes.
so that was your first experience with
It was.
okay.
Yeah, I went. It was my first time going to a mixer. I didn't know what to expect. I came with business cards thinking
Yeah.
I needed to introduce myself to people, but I realized that it was very informal. It was just like a big party.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It really is. And the alumni center is really, I feel, too small for that. But the Hagen was under construction at the time.
I thought it was perfect. It kind of felt like it gave a reason for people to talk to each other because you were so close.
Because you're all close to each other.
You had
You're
to
all
find a
waiting in the
table.
conga line for enchiladas.
You had to find a little space to put your food.
Yeah.
Your like 3 plates of food and all your beer and
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah.
And you're like rubbing shoulders with people and
It was
saying-
cozy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was cozy, but it made you talk to other people and get to know what they do.
It was kind of I guess the opposite of the last mixer at the Hagen, which was, but there were so many people there. You were doing a lot of elbow rubbing, but it was so much to see and so much to do that you might have missed something if you didn't travel
Yeah,
around.
Yeah.
it was kind of overwhelming.
Yeah. It
actually,
was.
because
But it was amazing though. It was
Yes.
like it was a real event. It was definitely like a ribbon cutting
Yeah.
kind of event.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved it. I mean, it was
I missed that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was in Sacramento.
Yes.
Yeah, I was in an alumni dinner.
well, I think it was so neat just
Yeah.
going in there and you saw all the renovations that they did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you're experiencing it with so many other people. And you have food and drinks. It was cool.
Yeah. Now, once you started kind of going around to these mixers and learning about the chambers, I think a strategy, and that's kind of a strategy like when I was working in Huddle, working with small businesses, it was kind of like, what kind of community outreach are you doing? You know, because as a PR consultant, that's kind of one of the things I look at too, is like, how involved are we in the community as a business? You know, are we part of a chamber? Are we not part of a chamber? So was that something that you were thinking about at the time? Was it going in, doing a mixture?
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to figure out who should I join? What's the benefits of joining a chamber? Why should I pay this amount of dollars every year? What's my benefit from it?
Right.
Who will I meet? Will it give me business?
Right.
Business.
Will it give me business? So, well, and that's an important aspect too as a business owner, is, you know, you're always looking at, I'm going to invest, you know, a dollar amount to something, you know, what's my return on investment for this?
I mean, I could see where people have a difficult time trying to see the benefits of joining a chamber,
especially as an entrepreneur, because your budget's really
you
might not be you might not be there, or
do you have one?
Yeah. Budget, what?
Yes, the thrills of not having a budget.
Then you start building a budget.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I got a donation-based business.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just bargaining, or what is it called?
Bartering, yeah.
Bartering for services, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, but for me, it was trying to figure out, well, what do chambers do? What do they offer? And it was cool just meeting the different chambers, and there's different kinds, like you said, the Asian chamber,
the Hispanic,
the Greater Chamber, and it's just finding which fits you the best.
Yeah.
And for me, it was the Asian Chamber, because they were focusing on downtown, and something that us in Terra Coffee wanted was to be part of that downtown movement. We love that it was like going down to our roots, that it was a lot of mom and pop shops, that it seemed like everybody was kind of like on the same page of trying to make a difference in improving the community of Stockton.
Right.
And at the same time improving downtown, and kind of changing that idea of it, because we're in Stockton.
Yeah, exactly. And as you all know, or may not know, that, you know, if you're local and you've been here as long as Laura and I have, there's this stigma that's been created around downtown. And I've always said Stockton really is, there's talent everywhere in pockets of Stockton. But Stockton really has segregated itself in different areas. You have, you know, the Lincoln District, you have Miracle Mile, you have downtown, and probably other areas too that, you know, may or may not know about. But downtown has this stigma of it's a bad area, right? Like you hear that all the time. I've gone to meetings, I've been in community meetings and meetings over at the DSA, and there's always this there's a lot of bad things going on here, a lot of crime, things like
that's
that.
right.
And
I'm going to be honest, I was going,
yeah,
I don't want to go downtown.
I don't want to do that. No.
I want to open a business, but I want to open a business, but I don't want to go downtown. And it actually took Pedro from Roadfinch.
Shout out.
He said, "Hey, Laura, there's this cool little spot. You should check it out." And then we started coming down and looking at it and seeing the potential, and then hanging around downtown, and then by doing business with other shops downtown, I was coming downtown more often and seeing what was going on, seeing all the traffic, seeing all the schools down there.
Yeah. There are a lot of schools and kids like every day.
Well, downtown is definitely different, daytime and nighttime, but it was much more significant a few years back. So, like, you know, once it was 5 o'clock, there was a time just like a few years ago when it was ghost town at 5:15, and now there's a lot more activity going on.
I think businesses are biting the bullet and saying, you know, let's extend the hours. Let's be open on some of these days.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we might not get business for the next week or two, or even months from extending hours, but by taking that risk, people will start coming down.
Yeah.
And
sticking around a little longer.
A little bit longer, and maybe other businesses can join them.
Yeah.
Now that location where you're at, I think it's really clever because, you know, one-way streets do a kind of a certain thing. And you know, they kind of make you follow a route, and you're on a route that people just have to get on that route to do things downtown. They now I got to turn the street and boom, and then they drive right by Terra Coffee, right by the next to the Heritage Center.
You know, it's so funny because when we opened up our CFO as Terra Coffee Roasters. One of the things that we kind of broke the rules a little bit with being a roaster is that we infused and made our own cool blend called the Café de Olla. And it
Cafe de Olla or Cafe de
Hola,
Hala.
de Lala.
So this was
that's the one.
This is the running
Controversial
the
title.
running joke that we kind of run into, as I shared with Laura. Like when I worked in retail, like there were certain things that as people were coming up buying certain products,
Yeah, they
you
get
had no idea what they were talking about. I was like, what? And so Laura's kind of running into.
It's cool.
The
I
same-
mean,
it's-
where the reason why we decided to make Café de Olla is we were getting down to my husband, our friend's roots. He's Mexican. Café
Yeah.
de Olla is a traditional drink that would be coffee sitting on a pot all day long. Throw in some cinnamon sticks. Throw in some pioncillo, which is the Mexican cane sugar.
yeah.
And that was
Pioncillo.
a drink. Yeah, I know.
No, you're good.
Yes.
You're good.
And you would normally see that in your grandma's house or
Right,
in Mexico.
yeah. Right.
And so he said, hey, this sounds pretty good. Let's do our own.
So your own twist on it.
Yeah, we did our own twist on it. We added some mixed spices. Everything is
Proprietary blend.
Yeah.
real ingredients. Is
Brought
what,
to you by Terra Coffee.
everything is real ingredients. And the thing is, people were like cinnamon, cane sugar,
Yeah,
mixed spices.
and I think that's where when I've kind of sat and listened in on the customers, what cinnamon and cane sugar, but then once they go try it,
yeah.
they really are surprised at the
Yeah.
taste, right?
Yeah, it's either they love it or they don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are when you're using pure ingredients like that. It's almost like a therapeutic. It's cinnamon it has great medicinal properties.
Yeah.
Cane sugar, is the better sugar, and of course coffee, antioxidant, and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Hey,
Well, what's pretty neat is that we're introducing this tradition, Mexican tradition, to everybody's homes.
Yeah.
So what happened was we wanted to see what the community thought about this blend. So the first thing we did was we started doing some research. We found the Mexican Heritage Center. They were doing like a paint party during the day, and we reached out to them and said, hey, can we serve our coffee for free? Just give out samples and get their opinions of this coffee that we just put together.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, come on by. And so this was like, I think, January or February. So we
Okay.
go to the Mexican Heritage Center. It's the first time you've ever been like downtown ever to do business.
Yeah.
And we were sitting down, serving our coffee, and people were telling us it tastes great. Everybody was doing their paint party, and we saw that they were trying to open up a coffee shop that time. And it was
Oh, okay.
something that they were working on for years.
Ah.
The Mexican Heritage Center has been around for over 15 years in Stockton, and they were in that location for I think about 8 years already.
Right. Yeah.
And Efren and I were looking around, going like, "This place is pretty cool. It's kind of like 2 stories. They have a stage. They have this huge art gallery in the back.
Yep.
So much culture, and
Not
literally a year later, they
Yeah.
found out we were trying to find a space downtown,
Yeah.
and they reached out to us.
wow.
Yeah, and then it's so cool. It's like
It's meant
it kinda,
to be.
yeah,
And
it
the
was
stars aligned.
yeah,
that
and the
was
thing
cool.
is, being an entrepreneur, you're trying to find the best place to be
Right.
for business to be successful, right? So we were downtown searching around different places. We were trying to be by Cast Iron, Channel, Roadfish,
Yeah.
be right there on Weber. And we said, you know what? Let's kind of look around a little bit more.
Right.
And we saw the potential in the Mexican Heritage Center. Like Gov said, it's a cool spot. We're right beside the HSA. We're by it would have been the City Hall, the
Yeah.
Chase Building.
The Masonic Temple's next door.
The
That's
Masonic
cool.
Temple.
The Masonic Temple.
Fathers and Families is right there.
Yeah, that's right. Fathers and Families. San
The
Joaquin.
county workers, city workers.
Right.
So you got a lot of foot traffic. I mean, and if you've I've just hung out there. It's incredible how many people are walking by.
Yeah.
And then you get a lot of people who they're going from point A to point B. Like but there's something that makes them turn and look, and they kind of stop. And then there's other people that come back around and they're like,
What is this?
what is that? And then they look in there and there's a coffee shop. And so, yeah, you've got a lot of people who've now how do you, since you've been open for about a month, do you think that most people have heard about you just by walking by or word of mouth or Instagram?
It's mostly word of mouth. People try our product and they love it.
Mm-hmm.
They tell their coworkers, and it's kind of like a chain that just
Yeah.
keeps on going. It helps. It's really rewarding because as coffee roasters and you're selling your coffee, and you don't see the people buying it.
Yeah.
They say good things, but you don't see the reaction when they're home and they take that first sip of coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's so rewarding
To see that.
Yeah, when we opened up the shop, that we could see that people loved our product,
Mm-hmm.
that we're doing something right. What can we do to make it better? What can we do to improve
Yeah.
our drinks or our service in any way?
Right.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think
Catherine
it's
and I are just loving it.
that's such a great feeling, right? Like you've worked so hard to, put all your passion into this product, and it's just like you said, it's such a great feeling to see that, like once they order and then you make it for them, and then they're just like, wow, this was great.
Well, for us, it's all about quality, because every 4 to 5 months, we're changing what we're offering. We're bringing in beans that are in season
Yeah.
with the best flavors. And we're kind of sharing our savings as being a cottage food operation, because it's not a big overhead cost by being at
Right.
home and roasting at home.
Yeah.
So we're sharing it with you guys, because usually these beans go for like $16 for 12 ounces, but we're doing 12-ounce bags for $12. We're kind of
Wow.
sharing with the public as far as like quality and the price. We just want to be fair.
And
Yeah.
these are all small batches. It's almost like the beer, the microbrew beer
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Small batches, and I love that it's of course local is. There's a lot of these national and international coffee chains. I don't know, no names, but but I tell you, one thing that kind of floored me is that throughout that experience of these things becoming big like that, coffee has risen in price so much.
Yeah.
Right.
And
yeah.
it's crazy now. It's like, man, coffee is, you got a small cup and people, it's $9 or something.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's something. It's just like the ritual habit, right? It's like I'm brushing my teeth. I'm going to the treadmill. I got to get coffee.
Right.
It's just something that people need to fuel their day.
I feel like it's changing now, though. It's
Is
like
it?
it's yeah, you're right. It's a ritual, but they're trying to make it like a community thing.
Okay.
Like, come by, meet me over at Terra. And
That's true, and probably in the dating scene, it's like, oh, we'll just get coffee first,
Yeah.
and meet.
Yeah,
So,
meeting with people. It's about bringing the community together.
Yeah.
I think a lot of coffee shops now, especially the third wave shops, are trying to make it more about the community
Yeah.
and slowing down.
Right. Well, and what's cool about
Nice.
your kind of collaboration and working with the Mexican Heritage Center is that you have the art side, which is that's a whole different draw for people, because again, that's something that really is kind of, I would say, maybe it's there in Stockton, it's just not like people aren't aware of it yet. Like there's
Yeah.
art throughout Stockton.
That's right.
I feel like there's just people that don't know
Yeah.
who's doing what, and the center is a great way to make people aware of this amazing art, as
Yeah.
well as come in and meet you guys for the first time to get coffee.
No, I mean, it's just been a great partnership, because we're making a welcoming environment. We're bringing people in that might have not had a reason to go into the Mexican Heritage Center.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called the Mexican Heritage Center, but their mission is your heritage. It doesn't matter what
culture,
yes. So having Terra Coffee there really is inviting people, making it feel like, hey, come on inside, and while you're here, check out the gallery.
Kind of the icebreaker, don't you think? Because like coffee, it's like, oh yeah, I can get some coffee,
Yeah.
and then it seems like you always, while you wait, you can take in the art too.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. A lot of coffee shops are trying to bring art. Coffee is an art itself.
Yes.
So they're trying to bring in art. They're supporting local artists. But we have an art gallery.
I know, exactly. Yeah, so that's really unique. And then of course that gallery switches out every month.
Yep, that's right.
So
next month, I think they're focusing on women empowerment.
oh, okay.
So it's a whole bunch of different women artists, female artists, and sharing their art.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
follow the Mexican Heritage Center on Facebook,
Facebook,
or
yeah.
Instagram, and learn more about them. it's pretty amazing what they do. They
Right.
support the community in all different ways.
Right. So now, and with you seeing this incredible brand just kind of blossoming, and I know, like, talking with you, it was kind of like trying to find a location downtown. Now that you have
I remember we were going through so many different locations.
I know.
Going through so many different hurdles. Building owners living outside of Stockton.
So many challenges.
So many challenges. So many. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. But I mean, there's a reason why things don't work out sometimes.
Right.
You gotta just go with the flow.
Because
Be very patient.
Were you were contacting other places too?
Yeah.
During that time, and you just weren't getting a response. Or...
I was getting responses. Maybe they weren't interested in having a coffee shop in that location. Some places were they didn't want to spend so much on the build out. Some other locations we would look at it, parking wouldn't be as great, or the location wasn't as prime as we'd like. And we really took a risk by going into the Mexican Heritage Center because we were really stepping away from where everybody was at.
Right.
And at first, a lot of people didn't see the vision that we had. They didn't.
Right, yeah.
And there was some close friends, other people who were business owners too. They said, we don't see it. I don't see you guys coming in here. You guys have two totally different brands. This is the Mexican Heritage Center. It's really bright colors. The Terra Coffee Roasters is very minimalistic, earthy, kind of more modern. And
eco-friendly.
Yeah. Eco-friendly, organic.
Yeah, really organic.
Right.
We just wanted to showcase the coffee as much as we could. And so we try to find that middle ground to marry both the Mexican Heritage Center and the Terra Coffee.
Yeah.
And when you go in there, it kind of looks like it was meant to be. People think that we've been there for much longer than
I had that feeling too when I came in there, but I was one of the people in the beginning who were like, moving down there, but I think that's an interesting point for the audience. As an entrepreneur, you poll your advisory group, and you poll your people, and you try to find out this information. But sometimes your gut knows.
Yeah.
And you gotta that's why you became an entrepreneur in the first place, is because it was with your gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a poll, it wasn't a survey. It was like, hey, I got this feeling. And that feeling led you to a great location.
Yeah, no, it was really neat. I mean, it was at a mixer where a young lady came up to us and said, hey, are you trying to look for a spot downtown? And we didn't reach out to the Mexican Heritage Center. It was somebody that we didn't know, who we met at a mixer.
Yeah, there you go, networking.
And she reached out to the Mexican Heritage Center and said, hey,
wow,
there's these local roasters, Terra Coffee Roasters. They're looking for a spot downtown. They're awesome. You should check them out.
Wow.
And that's how we hooked up with the Mexican Heritage Center.
Wow.
How organic.
It was so cool. And, we were having a rough time, too, trying to figure out, is this the right spot to be?
Yeah.
But I just had, like you said, that gut feeling. There is so much potential here in this spot.
Yeah.
This art gallery, people need to know about it and what the Mexican Heritage Center does. And if we do it right, then people will come by and check it out. So we're hoping that we continue to get support.
Right.
And we can continue building the brand of both the Mexican Heritage Center and Terra Coffee.
Yeah.
And hopefully show that it can be done.
Right.
Not
yes.
everybody can see the vision, but it takes an entrepreneur to take that risk.
Right. There's a roll of the dice, and I mean, but that's exactly how. Oh.
I was rolling the dice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But that's a big part of that. That's a big part of being an entrepreneur. Is you just you risk taker, and those are things that you're thinking outside of the box. I mean, it's good to seek advice from everyone.
Yes.
It's good to reach out to people in your community or your close group or your advisor or your consultant, whoever that might be. Have a focus group, and those things are all great. That's all qualitative research. That's just hitting the ground floor and asking people in the community, and that's probably the best feedback you can ever get. but ultimately the choice is yours.
Yeah.
And you did it, and here we are, and it's a month out, and it's been a very interesting ride, because when I met Laura a year ago, here's what it was, and you were in the bakery and you had the kids, and you were telling me about I had no idea. I'm being educated and learning about a CFO and more about coffee, because I'm not a coffee drinker, so and it was kind of cool to be a part of this and to kind of see it grow and to learn more about that particular group of people that go for coffee. Because there's people that come in that, okay, I just want something, and then there's other people that come in and they really have an acquired taste, and they know their coffee, they know exactly what they're looking for. And like, I feel like when you talk to those kind of customers, you guys are talking a different language altogether.
It happened today when the roaster came in.
It did.
Coffee techs.
It did. And
Ben was like,
I was like
interested. Then he started going into another land.
Yeah, it was, that was coffee aficionado talk. Like it was really just talking about different notes and how the coffee punches through, and the sugar and
different
the milk
profiles for your coffee.
And so it's a whole. It really is its own unique art, and it really is very cool to sit and listen to people talk about this and how passionate they are for this coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's I feel like sometimes coffee becomes a little bit intimidating for some folks. So for us, we're really trying to make it as friendly as possible while educating our customers and letting them feel like they're learning more about coffee without making it sound scary.
Yeah. Well, do you think that's the kind of corporate culture kind of coming in? Because I feel like, with the technology, rapidly advancing our society and corporatization, latching onto something, we've really been sped up to jump in. Like if I go to, Starbucks or something, I'm in line, I got to know what I want, and I feel like I'm in a rush all the time. Like,
because if you don't, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, and then people are getting irritated, and it's like, how come you didn't scan it on your app, or how come you didn't do this? Or I'm like over here like paying with like change and can't do that, and so you feel rushed, and then you feel like, what kind of drink is that, or what's in that drink, and then you just hear like the toe tapping or something behind you, and all these people like, I can't believe this guy doesn't know what he wants, and so that's really why I enjoy like smaller coffee shops, because it very much feels like a more intimate kind of setting where I can ask questions, and it really is welcoming, and you really are trying to find out, and you're building that relationship. You're doing PR and you don't even know it, but you're building these incredible relationships with people. Like, what kind of coffee or what kind of, flavors are you looking for? What do you like? Yeah. And you have it down. Like you've got the dialogue down, and you really nail it.
Coffee lingo.
Yeah, the coffee lingo every time. And they're just, I love the chocolate, or I love the caramel, or something like that.
Again, it comes down, I think the biggest thing for mom and pop shops or any entrepreneur is to have that customer service. You want your customer to feel like they're valued.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing. That can be a reason why they go to your shop versus another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except they can't get your coffee anywhere else.
Yeah.
When I was there, you made a green tea. Do you remember
a matcha latte for you.
Soy.
Yes.
With soy milk, because I wasn't sure if you were lactose intolerant or not, and you were in a meeting.
I wasn't sure either, but it was delicious. But I did that on purpose just now, because that was weeks ago, and she remembered what I ordered.
Yeah,
isn't that deep?
Yeah, that's good.
Challenge mode, success.
Yeah, yeah,
you win.
You win.
I'm gonna jump on to get the flag on the top of the pole.
Yeah.
Like Mario.
That's it. But yeah, did you see how she remembered what I ordered?
But that I think that's really what separates that movement.
She remembered why she added the soy milk.
Yes.
And the whole scenario. It was like it was today.
Right.
That's what you get when you got people
when you
who
support
care.
local.
and they're there and they're part of the community and they remember you personally.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And that's all, and that really complements the public relations side of it. You know, you're really building upon that. I mean, that's like anything. Like if I go to a barber shop, I've established a relationship with my barber. Like he comes in and he remembers stuff that we talked about like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
You know, or a month, however often you get your hair cut.
I mean, that's what makes it special. I mean, I feel like it comes naturally because I went to Sac State. I got my bachelor's in business administration. I took all these different classes, but it also comes to you. It's the way you want to run your business.
Yeah.
And to me, one of the biggest keys to having a successful business is the customer service. It has to be there.
Yeah. Well, and that's the mission, right? Like when I took an entrepreneur course with the Downtown Stockton Alliance, which I should note, they're not offering that course anymore. The board has voted not to do the entrepreneurship program anymore. The 9-week program that they offered, it only happened twice and they nixed it.
Wow.
Well, be on the lookout. I've been hearing things about it might be just moving around downtown.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I got a little
bird told you?
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Maybe a graduate from the class will be teaching it.
maybe, who knows?
I mean, there's so many big spaces in downtown to host these 9-week courses.
Yeah,
That's true.
Interesting.
It could be at the center.
Maybe that would be nice.
Yeah, it could be at KXVS.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Especially since we're doing all these great remodeling.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Hello.
This studio totally got remodeled.
Now you notice it has a little bit more of an echo because we don't have our sound panels and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that came together. If you haven't noticed, you probably won't notice on the screen. But
No.
this wall behind Ben is a new wall. It's about 3 inches closer than the other wall.
Yeah.
And we did that so we could make a lot more noise. We didn't want to disturb our neighbors. And you see the sign behind me. Can you see it? It says Monday through Friday.
Monday through
8 to
Friday.
5.
Low volume, no live music,
no
please.
live music. Yeah, so I can do this right now. Man,
Yeah.
that sign is
Oh,
done.
it's
Yeah.
done.
Oh, man.
Later for
Wow.
Can you rip it up?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's done. It's now we're gonna have a sign here that says "Do your thing."
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, so yeah, we got a little bit of space here. I mean, I don't, depending on how the size of the class, but
Right.
yeah, we can work stuff out.
It's awesome. You did a great job.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I
think it's
It was a
fantastic.
group effort.
Yeah, it was a group effort.
Yes, definitely. Big shout to Richard Slezak. He's my go-to guy.
There you go.
When the job is tough and no one wants to do it, he's first in line.
Yeah.
So,
He's there.
Nothing but love to you, Rich.
So then, let's talk about where we're going with Terra. You know, you've built up a following on Instagram, and I know that's as far as a marketing perspective, those are great outlets for entrepreneurs because they don't cost anything unless you want to do paid ads and sponsors, and you'll see them on Facebook as sponsored by and paid ad, things like that. And Instagram, I think, is fantastic for your industry because you get to showcase that product, and that's what people want to see. They see the visual, they see a great photo, you give them a little message, and use some hashtags, and boom, you're off to the races. So where is Terra going to go now? I mean, you're just going to try and focus now with the Heritage Center and kind of build upon that, or what do you see in the future for Terra?
Yeah, I think it's just continuing to build the brand. I mean, I think it takes time. Mm-hmm. You don't do it in 1 month.
Yeah.
You got to kind of let it continue growing, letting it show like this is your, that this is what you represent, and this is what you do.
Yeah.
And you have to be consistent about it.
Yeah, consistency is key. I think we talked about that in our entrepreneur committee. Mm-hmm. And another thing I think too is not only are you driving traffic for your brand, but you're also driving traffic to the Heritage Center as well. You've been open for a month, and there was just a soft opening. Is there any thoughts on a future grand opening at some point?
Nothing's been planned yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to have a cool party.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do a cool party.
A cool party. A cool ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely plan something. A grand opening doesn't have to happen right when you open your doors.
Right, yeah.
I think that's what business owners need to.
Yes.
They're aware of.
That's another good strategy too, is they don't have to happen right away. Like you're still trying to probably sort out different things, or what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, it's all about being strategic about things.
Right.
Yeah,
It's,
you got to have your rhythm though. You got to have
Yeah.
all those logistics down.
That's right.
And that way you put your best foot forward on your grand opening.
That's right. For us, the reason why we did our soft opening was to figure out, are these the taste that Stockton is the taste that is fulfilling Stockton's likes and needs?
Yeah.
How's the efficiency behind the bar?
Is this trending in Stockton?
Yeah. Hashtag Terra Squad.
Yeah. I want to put that right on
There you go. The Terra Squad. How can you be a part of the Terra Squad?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I could see shirts in the future, maybe.
think so.
Buttons.
Maybe buttons, maybe vinyl.
Merch, some Terra Squad merch.
Ooh, I like it.
I could see it on a hat.
Ooh,
That
yeah.
would be kind of cool, or beanie or something, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag Terra Squad.
Yeah, hashtag Terra Squad. Oh, you also offer nitro and cold brew, right?
I do. We
Yeah.
offer nitro cold brew.
Because that's big. Like, so let's talk about that for a little bit. That's as not a coffee drinker really, but you would know more about this. Is when did that movement kind of start happening in coffee for nitro and cold brew? Like
I think last year was a really big year for nitro cold brew. I mean, a lot of the big businesses, big coffee businesses like Starbucks, as much as some people like to think Starbucks is just sugary drinks, we have to give a lot of credit to Starbucks.
Yeah.
They help build the coffee community.
Right.
They're really important with the coffee culture.
Yeah.
And so I think nitro cold brew itself is going to be the next big thing for coffee. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a great way to be introduced to coffee with a smoother drink, less acidic,
Yes.
and it's bold.
It's bold. That's cool beans.
And you know, all these local roasters and local coffee shops have their different styles.
Right.
So I think it's pretty amazing that we're having all these different coffee shops and roasters here in Stockton, and you get to taste all the different styles, and
Yeah.
you get to figure out which one suits you the best.
Right. And I feel that that's something that's really great for Stockton, like that's happening now, is that people can, visit these little shops and figure out, which one's going to work out for me, which one, and you guys almost offer, I feel like each one kind of offers its own unique
Yeah.
kind of cold brew.
Yeah, we all do. I mean, there's different styles of the way you want to make your cold brew. There's the towers. Especially at Impresso, it's huge. You see their towers right there.
Yeah.
For us, we do a full immersion cold brew method. So and we have our own beans that we roast ourselves, and what blend that we want to put in, because we want certain notes to kind of come through, especially in a nitro or in a regular cold brew. And then it comes down to how much concentrate do you want to put with water.
Okay.
And
So what is nitro? It doesn't have to do with nitrogen. It's not like liquid nitrogen. What is nitro?
so we're taking the cold brew and infusing it with nitrogen, the gas nitrogen.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, so it's almost like a stout.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like a Guinness kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Lovely
Yeah.
day for Guinness.
All right. Drink your
So you can see
brewed
like
brew.
the cascading of the nitro
Right.
coming down.
Because
when
it's
you-
got the foamy.
Yeah, you get the foaminess
Yeah.
on the top, but you should see the cascading of the nitrogen coming down on the side of your cup.
Okay.
Wow.
And when you take a sip, if you drink a lot of coffee, it's almost like drinking water.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous, but you
Yeah.
can also see the folks that don't drink too much coffee. And for Terra Coffee, we're really heavy-handed on the concentrate.
Yeah.
We like our strong coffee. Yeah. And it's not that we just want to get you all caffeinated. It's because we love the flavors of coffee coming through your cup.
Right, exactly. And so that's Terra Coffee in a bean nutshell, in a bean shell.
Yes.
In a
bean
coffee, in a
shell.
coffee, in a coffee bean.
And a cascara
And a
shell.
cascara.
I don't know.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, Laura. I think it's been really helpful to other entrepreneurs that kind of want to hear those stories about what you're struggling with, and we got to kind of learn a bit about location wise and other things that you might have been looking at. And so where can everyone follow you for Terra Coffee? Like where do we go to get Terra Coffee, and how do we contact you?
Our shop is located at 111 South Sutter Street inside the Mexican Heritage Center. You can park all around the the street. It's 1 hour parking, or you can go into the parking structures. We do offer validation for 30 minutes.
Okay.
So there's 2 parking structures around us. So just park on up in there.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you can find us at Terra Coffee Downtown.
Okay.
Or if you want to follow our roasters page, it's Terra Coffee Roasters.
Okay.
And yeah, we would really appreciate the support. We just love Stockton. We love supporting the local businesses.
Yeah.
Other cottage food operations. It's great. We love everything that the station has been doing and other local organizations. It's been great.
Right.
It's a great support, and it's cool that everybody is, like I said earlier, it's kind of like we're riding this wave together, and it has its ups and downs.
And you're getting more local musicians kind of in there, because you, like, I don't know, and people might not know, but the last week or so you've had some entertainment.
Yeah, we did a little fundraiser for Joaquin Margot. He's a local musician, a student at Edison. He's only 17 years old. And we decided to do a fundraiser for him. And in that same night, we supported other local musicians, different groups. Less Than Three, Soggy Rats, Alex and Chris.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I mean, we're just doing our own thing. We have our own. When you go into the center, you can definitely feel a different vibe.
Yeah, and it's very different, very unique. You've got like these very vibrant colors. There's a stage, a gallery in the back. You have the upstairs kind of, if you want to hang out up there.
Yeah, you can do like a little private meeting up there if you like, or a study. Yeah, it's really cool. You need to come and check out the Mexican Heritage Center. It's a cool space. They're a nonprofit. Their mission is your heritage. Just come by. Downtown isn't scary.
No, it's not. I'm trying to break the stigma of that. That's kind of been set in place, and there are things to do downtown. There's plenty of places to go eat and go visit, coffee shop, art. It's not like how it once was, and obviously there are a lot of different organizations that are trying to revitalize that. So and we're just being a part of that and trying to support it as best we can.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I get shocked sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I came down here because I saw you on Instagram." And I go to UOP. I go over. I live on the north side.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, or we were just passing by from LA.
Okay, so we have to tell this LA story before we go.
All right.
So there were 3 women, right?
Yeah, 3 ladies.
3 ladies that came into the shop, and the youngest one had found, I think, you on Yelp. And so she saw like Terra Coffee, and they were passing through, and so they had to stop in.
Yeah, so they decided to come in.
Nice.
And
And
I
it
said,
is right off the freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bam.
So they came in. I was like, "Where are you guys from?" They came in. They looked so interesting, and
The
really,
plot thickens.
they had they were just really cool folks, very different. So I said, "Where'd you go? Where are you going?"
Yeah.
"Oh, we're going from LA to like the Calaveras County. Why?"
Yeah.
"Oh, we're gonna visit these nuns that grow weed." And we're going for a moon ceremony.
A moon ceremony.
Of course.
That's
Yeah, but it was so neat because they were able to check out this cool spot
Yes.
in downtown Stockton. They
Yes.
decided to stop and check it out.
Well, and the lady,
Congratulations.
we got the business card from the lady too, and she was actually an entrepreneur who did the cannabis oil.
Wonderful.
So
Good.
Entrepreneurs meeting entrepreneurs
Yeah.
and supporting each other
Yeah.
from, it didn't matter how far, from LA all the way to the Bay.
Yep.
They came for Terra.
And it drove 6 hours.
All the way to the bay.
Yeah. All the way to the Bay.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Laura. We actually were supposed to do a panel, but everyone got sick. So we'll definitely try and schedule that next time. We were going to talk a little bit about something different, but this is awesome because you get to learn more about another entrepreneur in the area that's doing some great things along with a nonprofit. And those are things that we should be doing, right? As a small business, we should be collaborating and looking with our nonprofits to see how we can help each other and,
That's right.
and build the community into a stronger community and a better community in Stockton, which is what we do here at KXVS. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for
you,
listening
guys.
to Challenge Mode. He is Governor Don. She's Laura Garcia. I'm Ben Sanchez. Peace.